Hello, my friends, and a very warm welcome back to English Vibe Daily. I'm Adam, and I am so genuinely happy that you are here with me today. In this very special extended episode, we are going to learn English through the powerful, life-changing ideas of one of the most famous and beloved books in the world, Atomic Habits by James Clear. This incredible book is all about how very small, almost invisible, daily changes can create huge, remarkable results in your life. The core message is not about doing more. It's about doing things better, little by little, day by day. Today, I will be your personal guide, taking you chapter by chapter through the book's most important ideas. I will explain everything in slow, clear, and simple English so that you can easily understand every single word. As you listen, you will not only be learning new English vocabulary and phrases, but you will also be learning the profound secrets of how to build good, lasting habits, the very habits that can completely transform your life. So please sit back, relax your mind, and let's begin this incredible journey together. The astonishing power of tiny atomic changes. The word tiny means very, very small, and James Clear begins his book with a simple but incredibly powerful idea. Small, consistent habits have the power to completely change the entire course of your life. He tells the inspiring story of a man who desperately wanted to become healthy again after years of neglect. At the beginning, this man didn't force himself to run for hours or go to the gym every single day. His first step was almost laughably small. He just started by walking for 5 minutes each day. That's all. 5 small, easy minutes. But here is where the real magic happens. He did it every single day. He did not stop, no matter how he felt. And soon, those 5 minutes naturally and effortlessly became 10 minutes. 10 minutes became 20. And after just a few months of this gentle, consistent practice, he was happily walking for 1 full hour every single day. He lost weight. He had more energy than he had in years, and most importantly, he felt deeply proud of the person he was becoming. James Clear gives us a powerful piece of math. If you can get just 1% better at something every single day after 1 year, you will be an incredible 37 times better. That number, just 1%, sounds so small and insignificant, but its compounding power over time is astonishing. Imagine if every single day you made a tiny effort to be just a little bit better than the person you were yesterday. What if you read just 1 more page of a book, offered 1 more smile to a stranger, or learned just 1 new English word? After 1 year, these tiny, almost invisible moments of effort will have accumulated into something huge and life-changing. Let's think about this in another way. If a giant airplane, at the very start of its long journey, changes its direction by only 1 single degree, it is an almost unnoticeable change. But after many hours of flying, that 1 degree shift will cause the plane to land in a completely different country. A tiny, almost invisible change in direction at the beginning can lead to a completely new and exciting destination. Your daily habits work in the exact same way. The word atomic means incredibly small, just like an atom, which is the smallest fundamental piece of all matter. But as we know, individual atoms are immensely powerful. When many atoms come together, they have the power to create everything in our entire universe. The great mountains, the vast oceans, the towering trees, and even our own human bodies. So, an atomic habit is a very small, seemingly insignificant daily behavior that has the power to create huge, incredible changes over time if you repeat it with consistency. You do not need to be a perfect English speaker today. You just need to be 1% better than you were yesterday. That is enough. You've just been introduced to the foundational, inspiring concept of the 1% rule. If this idea is already starting to shift your perspective on what's possible, please take a moment to hit that like button. Now let's go deeper and explore what is perhaps the most profound idea in the entire book: the link between our habits and our identity. How your habits shape your true identity. The word identity is all about who we believe we are at our core. In this life-changing chapter, James Clear says something incredibly important. He tells us that your habits are not just about the things that you do. They are fundamentally about the person that you become. Your habits are the building blocks of your identity. Many people try to change their habits by starting with outcome-based goals. They say things like, I want to lose 10 kilograms, I want to become fluent in English, or I want to save more money. These are great goals, but James Clear argues that this is the wrong place to start. Instead of focusing first on the result you want to achieve, he says we must first focus on the identity we want to have. You must ask yourself a more powerful question. Who is the person I wish to become? Why is this so important? Because every single small action you take is like casting a vote for the kind of person you want to be. If you make your bed every morning, even when you don't feel like it, you are casting a vote for being an organized person. If you go for a walk for just 5 minutes, you are casting a vote for being an active person. And if you listen to an English podcast every single morning on your way to work, you are casting a powerful vote for your new identity as an English speaker. Each of these small, atomic actions is a powerful message to your brain that says, see, this is who I am now. Now, let's think about a classic example. Imagine two different people who both want to quit smoking. Someone offers them a cigarette. The first person says, no thanks, I'm trying to quit. The second person says, no thanks, I'm not a smoker. Do you feel the profound difference in the power of those two statements? The first person still sees themselves, their core identity, as a smoker. They are just trying to change their behavior. But the second person has already changed their belief about who they are. Their identity has fundamentally shifted. And when your identity changes, your habits will naturally and effortlessly follow. Let's apply this to learning English. If you are constantly telling yourself the negative story, I'm not good at English, then your brain will believe it. You will feel shy. You will be afraid to speak. You will look for evidence to prove your story is true. But what if you started telling yourself a new, more empowering story? What if you started saying to yourself, I am a person who learns English every day? Or, I am the kind of person who loves the challenge of learning languages. Can you feel how that shift in identity would change your actions? Your brain starts building a new identity. You naturally feel more confident, more open, and more motivated to do the things that an English learner does. James Clear says there are 3 levels of change. The outer layer is changing what you get. These are your outcomes. The middle layer is changing what you do. This is your process. But the deepest, most powerful layer is changing what you believe. This is your identity. Real, lasting change always grows from the inside out. The 4-step loop that governs your life. You now understand the importance of focusing on your identity. This is the why behind your new habits. Now let's get into the practical how. It's time to understand the hidden architecture of every single habit you have, both good and bad. The simple science of how habits. Work James Clear says that every single habit, whether it is good or bad, follows the exact same simple 4-step pattern. These 4 steps happen automatically in your brain all day long, even when you don't notice them. The 4 steps are cue, craving, response, and reward. Let's look at each one more closely. Step 1, the cue. The cue is the trigger. It is the small signal from your environment that tells your brain, hey, it's time to start this habit. Cues can be anything. They can be a specific place, a certain time of day, a particular sound, a person you see, or even an emotion that you feel. For example, you walk into your kitchen and you see a plate of cookies on the table. The sight of the cookies is the cue. Or you hear the familiar buzz of your phone in your pocket. That sound is the cue. It tells you to check your messages. Cues are everywhere. If you can become aware of the cues that trigger your habits, you can begin to control them more easily. Step 2. The craving. After the cue comes the craving. A craving is not the action itself. It is the strong, motivating desire behind the action. You don't actually want the physical cookie itself. What you truly crave is the sweet taste that will make you feel a momentary sense of pleasure and happiness. You don't really want to check your phone. What you truly crave is the feeling of connection to other people, or the possibility of an interesting new piece of information. All habits are driven by a craving, a small promise that your brain makes to you. If you do this, you will feel good. The stronger the craving, the more likely you are to act. Step 3. The response. The response is the actual habit, the action that you take. You eat the cookie. You check your phone. You put on your shoes and go for a run. Whether or not you actually perform the response often depends on how easy or difficult the action is. This is a key insight. If the action is very easy, you will almost certainly do it. If it is very hard, you probably won't, even if you want to. That's why a core principle of this book is to make your good habits incredibly easy and your bad habits incredibly difficult. Step 4. The reward. The final step is the reward. This is the positive result that you get from taking the action. The reward satisfies the initial craving, and most importantly, it teaches your brain a powerful lesson. It tells your brain, hey, that action was good. It made us feel pleasure. Let's remember to do that again next time. For example, you eat the cookie and you feel a rush of happy, sugary energy. That's the reward. You go for a run, and afterwards you feel light, strong, and proud of yourself. That feeling is the reward. When your brain successfully connects these 4 steps, the cue, the craving, the response, and the reward, it builds a strong memory. That memory is what we call a habit. James Clear says that to change any habit, good or bad, you must consciously intervene in this 4-step loop. If you want to build a good habit, you must make the cue obvious, make the craving attractive, make the response easy, and make the reward satisfying. If you want to break a bad habit, you simply do the opposite. You make the cue invisible, make the craving unattractive, make the response difficult, and make the reward unsatisfying. This is the simple, powerful science behind every single habit you have. The 4 laws in action for your English journey. Now that you are a habit scientist, let's take these 4 laws and apply them directly and practically to your English learning journey. This is where the theory transforms into real, life-changing action. Make it obvious and make it attractive. The first rule for building better habits is to make the cue obvious. This means you must make your good habits clear, visible, and impossible to ignore. Our brains are naturally lazy. They prefer the path of least resistance. So if you want to build a good habit, don't hide it away. Make it the easiest and most obvious choice. For example, if you want to remember to practice your English, leave your English notebook open on your desk where you will see it all day. If you want to listen to a podcast, have your headphones sitting right next to your keys so you grab them automatically before you leave the house. This idea of changing your environment is called environment design, and it is often more powerful than pure willpower. Don't try to be stronger than your environment. Design an environment that naturally supports your goals. The second rule is to make the craving attractive. We are far more likely to repeat things that we find enjoyable and pleasant. Your brain always asks one question before starting a task. Will this make me feel good? You must find a way to make the answer yes for your English practice. If you find traditional study boring, then stop doing it. Find a way to connect English to something you already love. If you love watching movies, then your English practice can be watching a movie in English. If you love music, your practice can be learning the lyrics to your favorite song. When you link your new habit, practicing English, to something you already find attractive, your hobby, you won't have to force yourself. You will naturally want to do it. You won't say, I have to study. You will start to say, I can't wait to learn today. Make it easy and make it satisfying. The third and perhaps most important rule is to make the response easy. Many people fail because they try to do too much too soon. They wait for a surge of motivation and then try to study for 2 hours. But motivation is unreliable. The real secret is to make your habit so incredibly easy that you simply can't say no. This is where James Clear introduces his famous 2-minute rule. When you start any new habit, it must take you less than 2 minutes to do. Do you want to start reading in English every night? Your new habit is not read a book. Your new habit is read one page. Do you want to start exercising? Your habit is put on your running shoes. Do you want to start writing a journal in English? Your new habit is write one sentence. Why does this work? Because it feels ridiculously easy. Your brain says, this is so simple. I can definitely do that. The hardest part of any new habit is just getting started. The 2-minute rule is designed to make starting an effortless action. The fourth and final law is to make the reward satisfying. To keep a good habit alive, it must feel rewarding. When something feels good and satisfying, your brain releases dopamine and says, "That was great. Let's do that again." The problem with many good habits, like learning English, is that the big reward, fluency, is far away in the future. So you must give yourself small, immediate rewards now. This can be as simple as putting a check mark on a calendar after you complete your daily practice. That small visual cue of your progress can be incredibly satisfying. Or you could have a habit tracker. And after you practice English for 5 days in a row, you reward yourself with a small treat, like watching an episode of your favorite show. You need to make your brain feel happy and proud today for the work that will pay off tomorrow, and remember the powerful rule: never miss twice. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has a bad day and misses their habit. That's normal. But the real danger is when one missed day turns into 2 missed days, and then 3, and then you've stopped completely. So the rule is simple. If you miss your English practice one day, forgive yourself. But you must promise yourself that you will get back on track the very next day. This one simple rule prevents a single slip-up from becoming a total failure. So, my dear friend, here is my small, gentle challenge for you. Choose one tiny atomic habit that you want to start for your English journey today. Maybe it's listening to this podcast every morning. Maybe it's writing one new English word in a notebook every night. Make it so easy that you can't say no. Do it for just 1 week and just notice how you feel. If it feels good, if you feel a little proud of yourself, then just keep going. You will be absolutely amazed at how quickly and how beautifully these tiny things can grow. Thank you so much for joining me for another empowering episode of English Vibe Daily. I'm Adam, and I am so proud of you for learning, for growing, and for showing up for yourself today. Always remember, big life-changing results always start small. So until next time, keep practicing your English, keep speaking, and keep believing in the incredible power of your small, consistent changes. Bye for now.